us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Sober Thursday. It just doesn't quite work like Saturday and Sunday. I think I'm going to grab a fan. So I reset some stuff, and hopefully chat will be working this time. We will double check it here. Okay, nobody's hit chat yet. So give me a second. I'm just going to grab a fan. I have to be kind of quiet because the wife is still sleeping. Let her sleep all day if I have to. Excuse me, Katie. That cat always jumps. That cat always jumps on my chair if I get up from it. Morning, Michelle. Good morning, Heather. Good to see you both. It's a nice breeze. Not as good as a good stretch. It's a nice breeze. Oh, I had to get up a little early, so I'm not quite with it. Supposed to have a phone call. Didn't happen though. Just life shit, life stuff. Restream was granted. Yes, I know because I gave it permission. So good. Looks like the chat is working. So that is good. Looks like we're going to be in the 12 by 12 today. Page 53. It says, but from our twisted relation, friends and family. Try and guess what step it is. I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with 5. Nope, step 4. I was close. I was only like 2 pages off. Yeah, page and a half off. We'll probably start at the top of page 52, give us a little bit more to cover this morning, but let's go ahead and get started. I made phone calls to West Pines trying to get a hold of their outreach person. Talked to my DC, or I left a message for my DCM, which is the district chair person, so that I can be the CPC person for my district. I'm in District 9. It's the professional committee. So, all right, let's get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name's Dion. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. If you'd like to follow along, we're in the 12 by 12 page 52. We're talking about forming true partnerships. But all alcoholics who have drunk themselves out of jobs, family, and friends will need to cross-examine themselves ruthlessly to determine how their own personality defects have thus demolished their security. what we're trying to do is, yes, it takes two to tango, but what we're trying to do is figure out what our side of the street looks like. We got to be cleaning our side of the street, or this isn't going to work. Pointing the finger, blaming others for who we are, that has got to come to an end for a lot of reasons. Excuse me. All right. The most common symptoms of emotional insecurity are worry, anger, self pity, and depression. These stem from causes which seem to be within us and at other times to come from without. To take inventory in this respect, we ought to consider carefully all personal relations which bring continuous or reoccurring troubles. It should be remembered that this kind of insecurity may arise in any area where instincts are threatened. Right? So, questioning directed to this end might run like this. Looking both past and present, what sex situations have caused me anxiety, bitterness, frustration, or depression? Appraising each early situation fairly, can I see where I have been at fault? Did these perplexities beset me because of selfishness or unreasonable demands? Or if my disturbance was seemingly caused by behavior of others, why do I lack the ability to accept conditions I cannot change? These are the sort of fundamental inquiries that can disclose the source of my discomfort and indicate whether I may be able to alter my own conduct and so adjust myself serenely to self-discipline. All right. And that self-discipline is taking a look at where we're wrong in it, where we could be wrong in a situation, in any given situation. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back through our lives and figure out where we have been selfish, where we have been dishonest, where we have been self-seeking. All right. See, a lot of these emotions, there are some that come from within and there are some that come from without. And they're probably, I'm not sure, I think they're going to get to it here in a minute in the reading. But all of these form from one thing, fear. It's all fear. Fear that I may not get what I want, or fear that I may lose something I'm holding on to. There used to be this poster, it used to be in almost every AA room. And it was a poster of this cat. And there were scratch marks all the way down the poster. There was a cat hanging on at the bottom of the poster, and it said, "Everything I ever let go of has scratch marks all over it." And so true for an alcoholic. And why is this tough? Because for a moment, for a little bit, you're going to feel like a hole in the donut. You're not going to know who you are. It's going to feel, the feeling is you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it doesn't. You're sitting there waiting. You're like, okay, the other shoe's going to drop any moment, because that is what we're used to. That's what we're used to. Then to come find out that it was me doing that. It was me causing the drama. I was dropping the other shoe. There we are. Since I was the one doing it, well, I don't have any control over anybody else, but I do have control over my own actions. I didn't used to, not when alcohol was involved. But now that alcohol is not involved and I have found something better, a new set of morals, a new set of ethics, a new way to do things, then it changes. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. This is where we use delayed gratification. Yes, I'm uncomfortable right now. So what? And last 3 days have been, actually the last week and a half has been kind of tough for me. A lot of anger yesterday. I was just And the night before, I was pissed. So what did I do? I did everything to keep my fucking mouth shut until the appropriate times. That's all I did. Now, that was an earned virtue. I worked very, very hard. I didn't always used to be able to do that. So even while in calamity, I can see the progress going on in myself because I can ask myself certain questions, like, why are we feeling this way? What are we doing? Right? But when I'm fighting everything and everyone, I cannot form true partnerships. I will not be one of the crowd until I work through my stuff, my 4-step. Then the sense of belonging comes pretty strong. You think you feel it now, wait till you finish that 5th step. Then you'll really feel like you belong. Suppose that financial insecurity constantly arouses these same feelings. I can ask myself, to what extent have my own mistakes fed my gnawing anxieties? And if these actions of others are part of the cause, what can I do about that? If I'm unable to change the present state of affairs, am I willing to take measures to shape my life to conditions as they are? Questions like these, more of which will come to mind easily in each individual case, will help turn up the root cause. There again, we're talking about the root cause. We need to get down to causes and conditions. Why? Why were we doing this? Okay. It's like when you write the actual grudge, right? So I use my mom as an example because we all know that I'm a mommy's boy and we worked out our stuff, right? So I had her name, but then I only got one line to write the grudge. And I was to stay away from particulars. So I couldn't write like, oh, that one time she did this to me, that one time that this happened, or when she caught me doing this, or I had to stay away from those. And it took me a little while, but the root cause was I'm angry because she treated me differently than the other kids. Okay. So as I went through it, I discovered that she treated me differently than the other kids because I was different and that she was acting accordingly to my actions, cause and condition. What caused it and what was the condition of it? There's got to be a song that I can put condition in. What's the condition of your condition? There's a song in there somewhere. I know there is. There's got to be. What's the condition of your condition? I think is the line in a song, right? So we're going to get to the root causes. But it is from our twisted relations with family, friends, and society at large that many of us have suffered the most, right? Sometimes, because yesterday I was talking a little bit about how sometimes I feel very separated from everybody. That isn't people doing that. That is Dion doing that. Right? It is. That's my mind trying to go through, trying to find that self-pity, that, but I'm not going through anything that's so unique. It is hard for me to find people that really understand. It's hard because I don't even quite understand it. So how am I going to be able to describe it, right? But when I fight everything, when I fight everyone, when I'm looking for the bad things in life, because my brain will seek those out. It is so much easier for me to find those bad things because they're everywhere than to focus on what things are going good. Right? We have been especially stupid and stubborn about them. The primary fact that we fail to recognize is our total inability to form a true partnership with another human being. Okay? Our egomania digs two disastrous pitfalls. All right. I have a feeling I know what they are. Either we insist upon dominating the people we know, or we depend upon them far too much. Listen to that extreme. Okay? See, we have to get it to a point where it's a give and take basis. One of these is give, the other is take. The whole thing. So the first one, either we insist upon dominating people we know, right? Or we depend upon them far too much. Those are just two extremes that don't work. So the first one is give. Oh, I give and give and give, and nobody ever gives me anything back. But the problem is you're giving 100%. You're not stopping to take. People feel unappreciated. They are giving, but you're not seeing it because you are giving all the time. Or if you take 100% of the time, then people feel like they're being taken advantage of, which is one of the situations that kind of sent me over the rails the other day. People relying upon my wife and I too much, that it's at a point where it's abuse. They may not see it that way, okay? But people are inherently selfish until they see something a different way. Doesn't mean they do it on purpose. Sometimes they need to be made aware of it, right? That doesn't mean that it gives me a right to be mean. It doesn't give me a right to name call or judge them. No. My condition, Dead Poets Society. Seemed like it was a, here, let's do this. What my condition of my condition is. Hopefully it'll give me the song. Yeah, just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in. They're called the First Addiction, or the First Edition. All right. If we lean too heavily on people, they sooner or later fail us, for they are human too. That is a setup. That's a setup to drink. This. I depend on them too heavily, knowing they're going to fail. It's a setup, man. And since they failed me, oh, woe is me. Pour me, pour me, pour me another drink. All of it is your brain setting, because this is the easier, softer way. And what its job is to figure out what to do with the information you provided it. Well, I want to drink. Then what it's going to do is it's going to gear itself towards it. But since we are extremists in this situation, it doesn't quite work out. Right? And cannot possibly meet our incessant demands. In this way, our insecurity grows and festers. Most alcoholics have abandonment issues. And it comes when it happens when you're a child. That's where abandonment issues start from. Okay? So, when we drive people off, it gives us a great reason. Right? And then we become more insecure. Oh, it's just going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Now we're isolated. And that's exactly where alcohol wants us. When we habitually try to manipulate others to our own willful desires, they revolt and resist us heavily. Then we develop hurt feelings, a sense of persecution, and a desire to retaliate. As we redouble our efforts to control and continue to fail, our suffering becomes acute and constant. We have not once sought to be one in a family, to be a friend among friends, to be a worker among workers, to be a useful member of society. Yes, Michelle, we cause the abandonment. That's what I was taught. We do cause it, but we were taught it. And since we alcoholics are an extreme example of self-will run riot, yes, we mostly cause the abandonment. People running around nowadays, the word is toxic nowadays. We're toxic. And we all know how I feel about name calling, because that's calling somebody toxic is name calling. It's just, it's, might as well just say retarded. Yeah, it didn't feel too good, did it? See? Mm-hmm. Say it means same thing. It's the same type of cut down, put down. Or they're just toxic, you know. Maybe you're an asshole. Maybe you don't have any patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love for other people. I can't. Toxic is not a clinical term used. I just love it when I'll see an ad in a therapist or some counselor will say, and I'm like, I like how you're using name calling to. That's what it is. Okay, but we alcoholics are very dangerous people when we're in our cups, man. Dangerous people that should be locked up. I'm one of them, and I hate my freedom being taken away. Okay. So I had to work on being, one in the family. You know, starts out by going to AA meetings and that first tradition where I find out that it's about unity, not about me. That the group must survive or Dion does not. Just a worker among workers. You know, I'm working on being a useful member of society. I think I am. I do a lot for the community, but it's because I feel like I owe. So always we struggle to the top, try to struggle to the top of the heap or to hide underneath it. This self-centered behavior blocked a partnership relation with any one of those about us. Of true brotherhood, we had small comprehension. I have actually found that people that have a ton of friends, like a lot, don't tend to know much about brotherhood or sisterhood. It's about numbers. It is. People with a few friends tend to kind of understand it a little bit better. It's just been my experience. Might not be true for everyone. Who knows? Who knows? Because for me, it takes a little while for me to, I'm certainly friendly, right? Some will object to many of the questions posed because they think their own character defects have not been so glaring. Well, that's because you didn't look at yours yet. Once you start writing it down and it repeats over and over and over and over again, it starts to become pretty glaring. To these, it can be suggested that a conscious examination is likely to reveal the very defects the objectionable questions are concerned with. Because our surface record hasn't looked too bad, we have frequently been abashed to find this is so simply because we have buried these same same defects deep down under us, thick layers of self-justification. Whatever the defects, they finally ambushed us into alcoholism and misery. Now we don't see them because we deal with them every day, and our justification, which is denial, runs deep. And we're good at justifying it, even to other people. We're really good at it, right? But what are they saying here? The glaring defects of others are ours also. We call it you spot it, you got it. I still go through it. I do. Right? It's okay. See, when I could take something where I'm judging somebody else and turn it around and be like, well, I'm doing that too. Now I can work with it. Now my mind is no longer on that other person. What I can do is be thankful to that person for displaying my own character defect to me. That's the difference. That is the different thought process that we need. All right. Therefore, thoroughness ought to be the watchword when taking inventory. In this connection, it is wise to write out our questions and answers. It will be an aid to clear thinking and honest appraisal. It will be the first tangible evidence of our complete willingness to move forward. All right, now let's read what Daily Reflections has to say about it. Can these words apply to me? Am I still unable to form a true partnership with another human being? What a terrible handicap that would be for me to carry into my sober life. In my sobriety, I will meditate and pray to discover how I may be a trusted friend and companion. I'm going to tell you how it worked for me. I had to become a different person. You attract what you are. Took me a little while. I had other things to deal with. Not, I know that the people will have my back, but I had to get to a certain point with my PTSD and my anxiety and my depression before I could become a good friend. Because otherwise, all we'd be talking about is those things. So I had to work through some things first. I had to become a person worth having first. Right? And I still try and stay in the middle of the herd. And I hear it. There's a running joke in grassroots that they call me default Dion because if something isn't being done, it defaults to Dion. It's okay. That's part of my job and what I do there. I actually enjoy that. I don't mind, but it's a joke, kinda. I help a lot of people. But I put myself out there too. I say this often, and it just rings true. If I can help somebody avoid the last 10, 15 years of literal hell that I went through, I'm going to help them do that. Because it's not a requirement. It just isn't. So if I can help somebody do that, I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing and try and give every single person that I meet that wants this program to make sure that they get what they need, everything that they need, so they can work this program. Really, my only job with it is to give you all the information so you can make an informed decision. That means all the information, not what I want, not just Dion's point of view. That's why I very much like hearing other people's experiences here. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. I hope everybody has a great day. Might be back a little bit later. I got 2 sponsees today, so I may not. We will see what happens. And I'm a little behind on my chores because I wasn't able to get to them the last couple days. So, all right. And I'm just kind of relaxing. I'm not doing anything serious today. Nah. Nothing serious today. Rule 62. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And